Greetings, one and all. Another Stargods. That's what it is. Yeah. Stargods vlog. I gotta use this computer. I don't like using computers. You get a big screen, right? Big with a program. It's an app. It's a big app, and it's just sucking up the memory and all that. And then you go and you press the exit, and it says, "Are you sure you want to shut program down?" Yes. Are you doubly sure? Yes. And then you get another pop up. Can we negotiate this situation? And then an ad pops up, needs updates immediately. And then it puts up a big website, and it just drives you nuts. Another thing that bugs me about sitting here is I live in a trailer area. What do you call it? Trailer junction or whatever. Anyway, trailers are so close here that you can hear everybody in every conversation, and then you're sitting there all of a sudden. Oh, don't worry, that was just old man Ferguson. Oh, that was his dog. He buys the wrong food for his dog. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what I've been told. So what did I want to talk about? Doctor, give me the news. Yeah, I want to talk about, there was a question that came up in one of the comments, and it's a fair question. It comes up often. What do you do with the Archons? How do you defeat the Archons? The Archons slash Anunnaki slash reptilian, getting a headache. Another Excedrin headache. It's so bright in here. That sun, it's just like feel like a vampire. So, anyways, how do you fight the Anunnaki? The Anunnaki control every fabric of our existence. They control the psychology of our minds. They control the narrative. Religion was given to us by the Anunnaki, who are those archons that have come from heaven to earth and all that. According to Sitchin. So the thing is, how do you deal with them? They're the very fabric of our minds. We do not have our own minds. We do not have our own culture. Their culture is the death culture, okay, which is coming in now, which has destroyed everything in its path, like a flesh-eating maggot. It has chomped its way. It's coming out of the apple now in full view, which is communism. Communism is one of the favorite tools of the Anunnaki and the slash Archons. How do you deal with them? First come the Archons. They came from heaven to earth. They were the Anunnaki. They established societies. That's what they do. They build societies, or the Nephilim tear down societies. Nephilim bring in the death culture. The Nephilim are the warriors. They're the shining ones, the warriors. But that's a different story altogether. Yeah. So now let me get this. Oh yeah, they gave us their minds. Our whole religious system they gave us. Let's take a look at Abraham. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let's look at that. Where did Abraham come from? He came from the land of Ur. Well, what's so special about the land of Ur? It was part of the Sumerian Empire. What does that tell you? Connect the dots. What did you find in Sumer? You found a hierarchy of power. That was the Anunnaki establishing society, and then it was the Nephilim that kind of put a kink in all their plans, because the Nephilim started eating all the food of the humans, and plus they ran out, so they started eating mankind. Hey, get this one on a little stick there. Off with the head. It's just like. So anyways, that's a whole different subject, but they are in our minds. It's like a black oil that came up through our feet and up our legs and into our body and into our eyes and into our mind. They gave us their mind. They gave us their ways. So anyways, where do I begin now? They give it, we don't think for ourselves. Our thoughts are not our thoughts, They're not creative. They're destructive. It's all mixed up with the Anunnaki blood and, see, the Anunnaki can be good. It can be good, and they can be very bad at the same time. It's a roll of the dice when you're going to deal with them. But they brought all the religion into the world for control, power and control. And then you have Jehovah, the God of war, vengeance, and wrath, who took it right to the extreme. Thou shalt not! You're gonna burn! He loves setting people on fire and throwing them into eternal damnation. He's a loving God. I just feel that power of love within me when I think about that God. Anyways, he's a God of wrath. He's a God of wrath, vengeance, war. He's a jealous God. He will just, even if you look at another God, you want to just explore, here he comes, here he comes, here comes, come on, thou shalt not, so he's a wild boar in a jungle. That's not the God I worship. He's not the God I worship. Sometimes I'm trying to release a little bit of what I believe personally, I don't believe in a Jewish God, that's for sure. And I don't believe Jesus was an actual real person. I think Jesus was more mythological, which we learn far more from the Jesus story from a mythological view than sitting in church going, Jesus loves me, this I know, 'cause the Bible tell me so. Spin it. So anyways, that's beside the point. That's a different subject altogether. So we had rulership of the gods on earth when the Anunnaki arrived, and they established agriculture, big cities to keep us together, to keep us confined so that we would worship them as the gods. And so how do you, they have all control on the earth. They control everything. And then I got to listen to this crap about how Trump is going to save the world. It's just nonsense. Their power is absolute right now. But they're at odds with the Nephilim bloodline, the kingship of the Nephilim, and they're the Anunnaki. And the kingship of the Nephilim they totally got us in a jar. They got us, the people of the light. We are fireflies that have been sealed in a jar. And they have complete control over us. They have complete and absolute 1,000% control over everything we do, our culture, our religion, and all the snares and traps, and we just go along with it. Yeah. And anyways, it's the Archons that they feed off us, and the Nephilim they feed off our energy too. It's all about keeping us miserable, fearful, depressed, ridden with anxiety and all that. And the C-19 virus does a good job, doesn't it? It gives them lots of food up there. Yeah. And so we're farm animals. We're feeding them our raw negative energy that they love, you know. Oh, these people are too peaceful. They love each other and they're too spiritual. Let's send in a war. Let's get it happening. You know, hey, Iran, we're going to have a war. I've been through years and years of listening to this Iran war. It's just to keep you stirring the pot. We're going to, you know, over and over, Israel announces invasion of Iran in 2 weeks, you know, and all this. Every time, and they keep kicking that farther down the road, you know, and never have it. Every week there was a, oh no 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 no, you know, and then you have the whistleblowers and they're going to go after Iran and all this and oh they milked that. Oh, and another one, a really famous one is. The market's going to crash, the greatest financial crash ever in the history of economics is going to start tomorrow. You know, and it doesn't, you know. And then we had the, real good example that really scared the crap out of everybody was Y2K. Wow. What a con job that was. C19's a con job. 2012 was a con job just to stir the fear up so they can sit up there with their straws sucking all that sour bitterness of mankind, you know, which they produce, you know. He used to remind me of what's his name from, he got stung by an x-ray. I've long forgotten his name. And he used to go up to these little creatures and animals and snakes and stuff like that, and he'd poke them with a stick, and they'd go, cranky little bugger, isn't he? A cranky little bugger. Well, no wonder. That's what the Archons do. They stab us and make our lives rotten. Anyways, they absolutely have all control over our lives. The greatest mystic to ever walk upon this earth was Philip K. Dick, whose movies, whose books were made into movies. And one of these movies was The Adjustment Bureau. If you haven't seen The Adjustment Bureau, put on the dunce cap and go into the corner, okay? And you're not coming out for 18 days. Unbelievable. It really demonstrated every aspect of everything we do is controlled. I can be controlled. You can be controlled. We do things because out of programming, somehow we're a little possessed or we're programmed or something, but they get us to do what they want us to do. You know, like, oh, no. Driving down the highway. You got to take the next turn off. Not the one after that goes to the left. No, the one that goes into town. Yeah. And then you go into town, you get into an accident. It was all planned ahead. Just see the Adjustment Bureau. Don't be so lazy, you know, and don't start going, oh, it's just a movie. It's just a movie. Get along, little cow. Moo. So they have absolute control over us. This is how they're the agitators. That's what I should call them, the agitators. That's what they do. They make your life so agitated. You got a big job that you're signing up for, a new job, and you're going to be interviewed personally, one-on-one with the boss of a major company, and you know, and then all of a sudden you can't find your car keys. Or you spill coffee on yourself accidentally, and then you're late, and then they don't want to talk to you anymore. This happens a lot. And then what's the amazing thing is, you look for the car keys, you had them on the rack by the door. No, they're not there. And you look and you get frantic. You're just pumping out all this negative energy where they're sitting there with their straw in your head. And you look and you double look and triple check and everything. And then you go, I give up. And then all of a sudden there's the keys in their regular position by the door on the rack. And you go, how did that happen? But don't tell anybody. Oh, you were just mistaken. You're just getting funny in your head. Uh, you know, they have all control and all power. So how do you beat them? These are mind parasites. These are mind parasites that just eat into our brain and just. You remember in the MIB, the movie where there was a guy and his head opened up and they opened up his head. I think he was having an autopsy or something. I can't remember it well. Anyways, they open up the guy, they take the face off, and there's a little guy inside. He's in like a little control chair. He's in like a Star Trek chair, and he's got little throttles and everything. He runs your system, okay? And but you know where you have days that are so bad, they're just everything goes wrong. But I want you to sit down and think about one of those days, and I want you to notice the timing. Everything is just like a fine-tuned clock. This leads to this, that leads to that. It's like one of those gizmos. It used to be a game called Mousetrap. And you put the marble and it would go down the tray, which would spring this up, which would knock that and turn that on, and go through the whole thing. Those gizmos, those gadgets. And then the mousetrap would come down in the end. That's what it's like in this existence, this prison, our prison with the dome, keeping us in so that we don't go out. Michael Tsarian says that the Nephilim want out. They want out of here, but they can't. And so we have to look at the little projects they had where in the 50s they were exploding nuclear weapons up there. Obviously, I think it was called Operation Fishbowl. I don't know if that was the Arctic expedition or if it was the bombing expedition. But anyways, look it up. So they tried to obviously they were trying to punch a hole in there because they want out. I really agree with this area. So how do you beat these guys? They're mind parasites. You don't even have your own mind. You've got strings. You are controlled like a puppet show. If you really want to get a sense of what this is all about, watch the old movie. There you go with that Hollywood crap. Is Jason and the Argonauts. He's got a mission. He's got a mission to get the Golden Fleece. But that's just a cover for the gods. Because the gods are playing chess with him and his men, and they're fighting the opponent who puts monsters in the way and all this. And it's not about the Golden Fleece at all. They're just laughing their heads off. They're going, okay, well, I'm going to move here and I'm going to trap you and take this guy out and all that and blah, blah, blah. It's all a big chess game. It's all entertainment for them. We're all controlled. It is a maze where we're controlled by the little guy in the head or whatever, programming, a little bit of possession or whatever. I can't explain that one yet. We're controlled. Go left, go right, go left. Oh, there's a rattlesnake. You just got bit. Okay, go down, back, and then go to the right. Oh, you just got into a car crash. This is what our whole life is structured. Go see the Adjustment Bureau. He is a guy who's going to become president of the United States. They want him as president of the United States because he's got the thick strings, really super nylon rope is what, he's under their control. But he's falling in love with this girl. He's going to fall in love with this girl. He's going to see her he's going to get on a bus. And why a guy running for senator would get on a bus. Anyways, that's probably explained in the movie. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too critical. But anyways, he gets on a bus and there's the girl. And he falls in love. That wasn't supposed to happen because there was another Archon. That's bad English. There was an Archon sitting, waiting for him to walk by him so he could spill coffee on him. And then he'd have to go home and change. He would never meet the girl, never fall in love. And they would have their pawn. But that never happened. So it's extreme control. But the whole thing of the movie was that if you resist them, oh, and by the way, they wear fedora hats in the movie. Archons, they're the shadow people. They have fedoras. It's very common. What are you being told, folks? Or are you just going, oh, it's just a stupid Hollywood movie? You know? Is that what you're doing? Because you're missing out on secrets of the universe they're putting out in these movies, eh? So, could be, well, we won't go there. And so, anyways, the whole, when you sum the whole movie up, it was him pitting his will against them, saying, I will marry this woman, and you're not going to stop me. Well, yes, we will, you know. And they try all their magic and sorcery and everything. He's tough. He's tough. He's going snip, snip, and he's put. This is what you've got to put your entire will against these guys. So when you're having a bad day, and you spill coffee on you just before the interview, you've got to know where it's coming from. That's not just random acts. Sit down and look at the timing. Oh, that coffee. Isn't that coincidental? That's what the sheep love. They love that word coincidence. There is no coincidences. It's an agenda. It's a plan. It's a manipulation of your life and your mind. And then know where it's coming. Look at the timing, the precise timing. I could tell you stories, but they're personal. I don't want them out there. Of incidences where I was driven nuts because of precise, exact timing of an agenda, of a planning. So how do you beat them? I'm getting to it, but how do you beat them? How do you stop it? You put your whole will against them. Just like in the movie, he didn't care what happened. He didn't care who got in his way. He didn't care about accidents and all this. He wanted her, period. And he wasn't going to take no for an answer from these Archons. This was written by Philip K. Dick, who is one of the most brilliant mystics to ever walk on the earth. So another thing that we do is, and this is where I get in trouble with YouTube, is that, oh, I shouldn't have said that because now there's going to be AI activation and, oh, he mentioned our name. The thing is, the power of intention. You've heard about the power of intention. Oh, I don't believe in it because you're a loser, okay? Go out and get a mask and put it on. Make it real tight so you can't breathe because I don't want your disease. I do not want your disease. So you've got to put your will against every fiber of your being. You have to know where this trouble is coming from. Oh, you're not just having a bad day. It's an archonic attack. It's like dominoes. They set your life up like dominoes. Well, now you're going to get in your car. You're going to go downtown. But, now you're going to take a different route that you've never taken before. There just have to be a truck on the road. And, you're smashed up and you're in the hospital. Isn't that coincidental? Yeah, coincidental. Yeah, Judge Wapner at 7, idiot. So you have to, the power of intention, just try it. Just try it. You focus on something. Sometimes it works with just the slightest little provocation. Pow, you get results like unbelievable. I had results I will never tell another soul because you just wouldn't believe me. I would be committed to an institution. And I did them with very little energy. But then other days when you go, obey your thirst. and you concentrate, nothing, absolutely nothing happens. But some days you just, you barely think of it, and pow, it comes into existence. I cannot win the lottery. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I cannot win the lottery. I don't know. I've tried and tried. The power of Christ compels. um, so what you do is you've got to use your power of intention. You've got to come here, come here, come here. I don't want AI cluing in too much. You've got to weaponize your power intention. You've got to use this against them. You understand what I'm saying? You've got to use it, and you've got to use it right now. You've got to do a Howard Beale first. You have to stand up and go to the window and I'd scream, I'm not going to take this anymore. And then you proceed to use your final weapon. The power of intention. It can be weaponized. It can be, you can focus on bad guys like, should I mention names? I don't know. Bad presidents or whatever, and those people in power, and you imagine them, being arrested for a crime or some people can make it very violent, crashing in their car, dying while they're at the zoo because they accidentally fell into the polar bear pit. That's fun. You're sick. Use the power of your will and the power of intention, because the power of intention is powered by your power of willpower. I am not going to take this anymore. You do a Howard Beale. Who's Howard Beale? You've got to want it. You've got to taste the freedom. You've got to taste the power and control that you have over them. So I'll give you one personal story. For 50 years, I fought an Archon in my dreams. I didn't know what it was in the beginning, and it took me years and years to finally go, oh, that's what it was. I was 12 years old, sleeping, and all of a sudden, I felt like somebody poked me really hard. But I was so scared. I didn't open my eyes, right? And that's when it all began. And then years later, I read that's what they do. For some reason, they just poke you, maybe to make you aware of something. But every night, for a while, I had nightmares. And then there's one nightmare that kept coming back maybe once or twice a week, where I'm going into a room, a lighted room, the light's on. No, sorry, take that back. Rewind, erase. I go into a dark room and I go to turn the light on. It doesn't turn on. And all of a sudden I feel this evil presence coming towards me, absorbing and extracting energy from me. And I'm going, ah, ah! And then I wake up and I am absolutely terrified. So I went years like this. Oh, here we go again. The light, I'm in the dream, and now I'm getting to be aware even in my dream. I flick the switch and the light's not going on, and then in the whole house, the lights are off. Everything goes into darkness, and I can see that entity coming towards me. And so one day I thought, I'm not going to be a victim. I'm tired of this. I can control my dreams. Because they people lucid dream. So, hey, I can control it. So I never did get a lucid dream out of it. But, I started to fight back. I started to go for its throat. I started beating it and thrashing. It always win. In the end. And then it just, but after a while, I started getting more power over it, more control over it. Yeah, I was getting pretty good at it. So when I'd have these nightmares and I'd wake up and, I'd go, that's it. I'm going back in there and I'm going to get them. I'm going to take them on. I'm coming. I'd be really mad. I'm coming. I'm going to get. And, there were times it was just a stalemate. We just squeezing each other's throats and couldn't get anywhere. And then wake up. But I got stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger until finally I got to a point where I could overcome it and I could turn the light on. It was excellent. And then with the power of intention, I imagined this guy, this shadow person walking, the guy, the entity that's been attacking me for almost 50 years, walking in the living room, and I just concentrated and I imagined him burning and drying up and crumbling into ash. Never been bothered since. Never been bothered since. But before I got to this point, I was in the hospital one time, and when you're under stress, they get in through the gate, eh? They get in through the gate. Even though it's locked, when you're stressed, it's an opening for them to get in. So I was really stressed out in the hospital, and this entity, I went to sleep, and here it comes again. Here it comes again. The lights in the hospital went out, and it's coming for me. It's sucking all my energy out. You're just like, And then they heard me scream. I was on the second floor. They heard me. I was waking people up on the floor below, the first floor. The nurse was like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? And I woke up just terrified. And so it got a little worse, but then it was not long after that I was able to finally Kentucky fry the entity. I've never been bothered since. Never been bothered since. So this can happen in real life. You can also see Archons by the corner of your eye when you can see like shadow. That's why they're called shadow people. You see them in the corner of their eye. They appear as black forms. They come in black. Can I say black? Is that racist? They appear as black forms that are blacker than the blackest black ever. They're blacker than black. It's so deep black shadow. That's what they are. They're shadows, and they're often seen with fedoras, and that's the whole thing is. What do you think they're wearing fedoras in Dark City? There's another movie. If you haven't seen that, report to the dunce corner over there. There's so much to learn, and you want to know about the Archons and how they're intermingled with us, how they're part of our minds, how they're part of our humanity, and how they control the narrative and everything. The best, the most revealing was Battlestar Galactica, the second one, the new one. Whoa, I was just like, holy crap, people just don't get it, do they? It's just a movie. I ought to smack you out. People I find just annoying. And, well, they're not real people. They're usually hybrids. Bah, bah. There's a little cliff there. There's some grass at the bottom of the cliff. Okay. Be gone. So if you watch that whole series, it's intense. You're gonna see, you take a half a cup of gnats, those black flies, and another half a cup of pepper, and you shake it up. You try and pick them out. You try to discern what is what. You try to discern who's an Archon controlled person, or who is an actual Archon, or whatever. Who the real humans in here? It's that hard. Hope I said that right. I get a little tongue-tied after, believe it or not. So, In order, you can't discern one from another when you shake that jar up. You can't discern who's who or what's what, because there are some totally Archon possessed people on this earth that come into your life. It's been said by the Gnostic Christians that you can be born with one that will control your life. It's there to create evil constantly, to upset your life, to smash it, to pulverize it. Then the demons, the spirit of the Nephilim, they work on you too. And then you got the hybrids, and the government. I found government documentation where they actually can have a chip put in somebody's head, and they can control that person. And if they want somebody out of the way, they control that person to maybe live next door to you, and just torment you, be a big pain in your life. You take out the garbage. Oh, there you are. There you are. I'm coming. You got the coffee. We're going. Take a hike, you stupid beep. Beep. They're there to complicate your life, to make your life miserable. You don't want them around, but they always show up in your life somehow. You don't want to see them, you don't want to talk to them, but they always show up. They always manage to be in your face. Usually they'll move next door to you, so they have a permanent connection with you. You go outside and you look at the sunny day. Hi, how you doing, neighbor? I'm coming on over. Let's talk conspiracy talk. Oh, I can't stomach conspiracy. I don't like conspiracy talk much. Did you know Obama was a bad man? They say, oh, Obama's a bad man. Shh, that's racist. That's racist. Get out of here. Here, have a cracker. Go somewhere. So, anyways, that's just me going on again. It's always ended up about 40 minutes, these videos. I know, it's hard. I could watch like 10 videos instead of watching myself for 40 minutes. That's why I'm trying to keep them short, but there's too much to explain. There's too much angles to look at. Anyways, it's all an agenda. You're all you're all controlled like puppets. You're controlled. You're going to a party, and you're going to meet the love of your life, and your life is going to be so much better. But guess what? You get a flat tire. You don't make it to the party, and you're in a bad mood, and you say, I'm in no mood for a party, and you go home and you miss out. That's how they operate. That's what the Adjustment Bureau is all about. And go see Dark City. They give us artificial memories. And I am convinced that there are people in this world that just popped into existence. They weren't born, but they have memories of childhood. They have memories of a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, and all this. And these are all implanted memories. Watch what happens when it comes to implanted memories in this movie. It's a movie. You're just stupid. What can you do? There's Vanilla Sky. Oh, that was deep. It's all about memories, the fabrication and control of memory. Isn't it interesting? Those little gray guys, they come up and they abduct you, and then you have no memory. You have no memory of what happened in the abduction. You don't remember that metal rod going up your arse, eh? Poke him harder. You don't have any memory of that. It's all about memory. The thing that makes you as a person is your memory. And when they start mucking around with this memory system, you're in a lot of trouble. You're in for a fake reality, you know. And I am pretty much convinced. And yeah, stop throwing the tomatoes. That people, there are some people on this earth that have just come into existence like that. They don't know it, and their memories are false memories are implanted. Perhaps you're wondering why I appear in all your memories. You gotta see Dark City, or I don't know. May a old Indian curse be upon you. So, anyways, I got a lot in my mind. I got tons of stuff that's ready to but explode if it doesn't get out of me. But I can't do it because people are stupid. They're stupid. Okay, they just yeah. How come I got a black eye? Because you just ran into a door, you idiot. Who we are stuff, and I'm sick of these big shots that are all famous stealing my ideas, stealing my work. I can't believe this. This has got to end. Stealing photographs, stealing creative memes that I make, you know, without referring to where it came from or anything, or giving me any credit for nothing. Oh, win the lotto, win the lotto. I just want to pay bills and laugh and go, huh, that's a big bill. You know, that's what I want to do. That's my dream. So, but this to tell you, the more I open up, the more these big toe people and a certain guy who has all these books and goes on tour and stuff steals my ideas. I hear my ideas repeated almost by verbatim. Yeah, having a drink. Okay, I'm back again. Word for word, almost directly quoting me. I come up with analogies and you know, like little private analogies that have never been heard before. It just pops into my head. Then I hear them repeat the same analogies. What am I supposed to think? So it's getting 1:45 now, and whoa, look up there, Rusty. We gotta fight them with our minds, and don't bother trying to wake people up because they don't want to be woken up. You know, I was doing fine. I was stupid, and I wore my mask, and I had no responsibility. And then you woke me up and talked about the toxins and vaccines and everything. You know, I'm scared. My whole family's scared because of you. You know. But I am sick of these people that are just like, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Okay, lick the boot. There's some dog poo on it, but you'll be fine. Yes, master. You puked on my boot? You've got to, this is two things you have to do. Not care about what people think, and what was the other thing? Wee-hoo. See, memory is who you are. So you've got to not care about what people think, and you'll be so wow. And burn your sacred cows. That's what it was. Burn all your sacred belief systems. Have a picnic right now. Burn, baby, burn, and make Jehovah smile. You know, like, wow. Anyways, there's two factions in this world. You have the Anunnaki and the Nephilim, and they're always battling it out. They're always having turf wars. So you may believe in this, but that comes from the Anunnaki. You may believe in that. Oh, that's Nephilim teaching and all that mixed in. You have to, you know, be smart and beware. They gave us all their religious spirituality. Did you know that? Anyways, I don't know what the future is, but usually all through all the spiritual literature, everything comes to an end. The yuga turns and everything has an end to it. You have the basic era, then it's corrupted, then it's destroyed, and then, like it says in the Bible, go forth and replenish the earth with your seed. So you have survivors, and this is what happened after the flood. You had survivors. It all patterns around survivors. Your future is based on survivors, but you'll be long dead. And oh, that's another one. That's another one. Is death. Don't be afraid of death. Death is like falling asleep. You're in front of the TV and you kind of go, and then you wake up. Oh wow, that was great. It feels so much better. Wow, it's a very gentle thing. Death is a very gentle, smooth, very gentle. Never be afraid of death, and never be afraid of what people think of you, and burn all your sacred cows. Always keep your mind totally open. Oh, I didn't know this fact. I didn't know that fact. Oh, I'm going to have to change my belief system. Don't box any belief system. Don't get in any box, and don't put the lid down. Oh my goodness. But death is just you just slip away. It's just the most warm, gentle feeling. It's just like falling asleep. It feels so good when you're in front of the television. It just feels so good. And don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. Your spirit goes on. It doesn't matter who you are or what you accept or what you believe. It doesn't matter if you've been deceived or whatever. It doesn't matter. There is no lake of fire. In all the out-of-body experiences that I've read, I have yet to come across somebody who says the devil was there and took me to hellfire and burned me. And I've never come across that, and I don't come. There's only maybe the odd one about Jesus and and all this. I don't see that. It's a great release, and there's somebody there that according to all these people, all the stories I've read, so many stories. There's always somebody they know and trust that is there. It's not Jesus. I'm sorry. Oh, you're gonna burn your ass off in hellfire, damnation, and I'm gonna be in heaven laughing. That's what people tell me. This is what these so-called loving Christians, this is what they tell me. And it's like, holy, keep your mask on. So it's a warm feeling. Then you meet somebody. Watch the last episode of Lost. That's really good, where Jack's dying and he's starting to see the afterlife and he sees all his friends gathered and everything. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And he's got the biggest smile. And he's got blood pouring out of his stomach because he's been stabbed, and he's so happy. He just slips away. That is so fantastic, because the whole series of Lost starts with him opening his eye. And this one, he closes his eyes. It's just the most wonderful TV series ever. You can learn a lot from Lost. But anyways, to wrap this up, you go, and then you go to a big get-together, a big banquet. And all your friends and your loved ones from the past, they're all there, and they're all waiting for you, and you're the guest of honor. And then they help you settle in to your environment, because everything is run by your mind. It's activated. It's the power of intention on steroids, okay? But I don't see no Jehovah coming, running towards you. Come here, you little bastard! Come here! Come here, I'm gonna just huck you into the deepest part of hellfire and damnation. He loves us so much, doesn't he? I don't follow any God, okay? Because I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just telling you, y'all, I am not. What's that? What's that? AI alert! AI alert! we're no longer free. Communism has taken over. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you for allowing communism to sweep the nation and to shut us down and shut our mouths, you know. But he's coming back March 4th or 5th, is it? I don't know. I don't even care. And he's going to fix their wagon, yeah. And then he's going to go golfing. It's just sickening. That flush Q down the toilet. That's classic. Classic template for a PSYOPs agenda. Absolutely. He's doing John the Baptist agenda. Trump, he's the one. We are not worthy. Oh, great leader, Trump. Where are you going? I'm going golf. Going to play golf. Oh. So, anyways, don't listen to all this stuff. Don't listen to all this garbage. All these prophets. And what the worst of them is, what is these people that see things long distance? What are they called again? Oh yeah, I can see that mankind's got a civilization planted on Mars. Yeah. Remote viewers. Yeah. They're full of you know what. Oh, piggy dung. I mean, they're idiots. If they were worth their salt, they could tell us everything, but they're not. They can't tell us anything. None of them have come forward and said anything about the flat earth, which is big controversy, that they could settle once and for all. Yeah, I flew out of my body. Yeah, the earth is a triangle. Oh, really? Yeah. Okay, so I'm just mumbling away here. So I've got to go. So anyways, don't be afraid of death. Read up on it. Take DMT. You'll never be afraid to die ever again. You won't be one of these sniveling little rodents going, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. They're all, I don't know, they're all controlled. Maybe they got no backbone. I saw no evidence of Trump having any backbone at all. I'm just throwing that in, jab. So anyways, take care. And it's not about what God you serve. It's all about you. These after-body experiences, there's no God that comes down. Yeah, I've been watching you all your life. I don't know. There's no judgment. There's no judgment. You judge yourself. This is the biggest kind of illumination I've had lately. It says, yeah, there's no judgment. There's no judgment. And all this religion is created to control you, to control your mind, and to keep you stupid, and to keep that mask sewed on. The devil is just... I use the devil as a concept. I don't believe there's a literal Satan. I'm going to tie God to the tracks. I don't buy that at all. I don't buy that at all. And so I try not to use the term devil. I use the term evil, So anyways, there we go. You just don't shut up. I got a chicken sandwich I've been dying to eat, but I got to listen to you. You go on. So anyways, make some comments if you got some ideas. And my nose, I see that all the time now. People making videos, they get itchy noses. Maybe it's a certain kind of radiation coming out. Yes, doctor, I took my pills. I don't have to increase the dosage. People do get an itchy nose sometimes. Anyways, thank you very much, and I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back. Okay, Billy, hit the button.